Now, many health experts say that the world is unlikely to shake off the COVID-19 pandemic until a vaccine for the deadly virus is found. The race to find a vaccine is well underway, with scientists in some countries stating that clinical trials for the vaccine for the coronavirus are progressing pretty well. I'm now joined via Skype from New York by Dr. Kayum Ahmed, who's Division Director at the Open Society Foundations. Thanks so much indeed for joining us, and good to see you. I mean, we recognize you, some of us here, as having worked with human rights in South Africa, but good to see you in New York.
Thank you so much, Peter. Always wonderful chatting to you and engaging with fellow South Africans, so very happy to be on your show.
All right, so let's talk about this vaccine environment. What is the vaccine development landscape globally, and how is that affecting the development of a COVID vaccine at this time?
So there have been several vaccine options developed globally, most notably in the US, the UK, France, and China. And there are approximately just over 100 possible vaccines currently in development, with 10 of those in human trials. And the two that have gotten the most public attention is Moderna in the US and then the University of Oxford vaccine in the UK. However, it is important to note that there is currently no vaccine treatment or preventative medicine proven safe or effective for COVID-19. So while a vaccine will most likely become available, we suspect, in the next 18 to 24 months and perhaps even longer, we're most concerned about is how affordable and accessible the vaccine will be. And here it's important to note that approximately 60% of the vaccine development costs are being paid for through public funds. Both the Moderna vaccine in the US and the Oxford vaccine in the UK are heavily funded by governments and not big pharmaceutical companies. So the question of price here becomes big.
All right. Is that then the fundamental differences between the responses to this vaccine search between what we can describe perhaps as the global north and the global south?
Certainly, this is perhaps symptomatic of the tug of war that's currently evolving between the global north and south, and particularly Europe and the United States, who have adopted a fairly nationalistic approach to vaccine development. It's sort of America first, UK first. And this is why we have been very supportive of the idea of a people's vaccine, and I've worked very closely with UNAIDS and civil society to urge governments and international partners to unite around global guarantees which ensure safe and effective vaccines are developed that can be produced rapidly at scale and made available to all people in all countries free of charge.
All right, you talk about free of charge, but what does need to happen to make these accessible and perhaps cheap, if not free?
So perhaps let's take the Oxford vaccine as an example. We noted that Oxford has partnered with a large pharmaceutical company to produce 100 million doses in 1 year. But what's particularly upsetting is the nationalistic approach by Oxford to the vaccine development process. It's utterly confounding that a number one ranked prioritize access in the UK first and then extend this to countries. So if 100 million doses are produced at the end of the year, as indicated in the deal, it implies that the UK's population of nearly 70 million will be first in line, leaving a million doses for the rest of the world. So this nationalistic approach adopted by countries such as the UK and are deeply far. And we are particularly worried about the global south. Hence our call for a people vaccine.
All right. We're struggling to hear you a little bit. It seems as if the line is starting to struggle. So we're going to leave it for the time being. But thanks so much indeed for coming through. And good luck with the work that you're doing there. But don't forget, you can always come back home, Kayum.
Appreciate the invitation. Thank you very much. Sorry about the line being so bad.
No problem. Thanks so much indeed.